What's going on, guys? So in this video, we're going to be going in depth on a fragrance that's a recent acquisition. Shout out to Jake Bates for sending this 50 ml my way because I've really been enjoying the Mercedes-Benz Man line, and this was one I definitely wanted to get my hands on. Today, we're going to be talking about Mercedes-Benz Man Blue, which, spoiler alert, is basically their take on Dior Sauvage EDT. But let's go a little bit deeper than that and discuss it, shall we? Stay tuned. So this is actually my scent of the day. Once again, I've been wearing it sporadically over the last week, and I love the way these bottles are designed. They're just different, unique, good atomizers, really good atomizers. And man, look, simplistic note breakdown. I'll have the Parfumos note breakdown for this fragrance on screen for you guys. You get a sour bergamot citrus type of smell. You do at the top, and the lavender here does mimic a shower gel feel. The way there's this peppery tone, like it really has that Dior Sauvage EDT opening blast. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the exact same quality as Dior, even though they're both chemically synthetic fragrances. There is quality differences in chemically synthetic fragrances. Dior, you can tell, smells a little bit higher quality. This also, at the same time, does not smell super cheap comparatively. It smells kind of like a slightly more affordable take on Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette, and I mean, almost a dead ringer for it, to be honest with you. It's my, like I said, it's my scent of the day. Still going strong on my forearms. I have it on the top of each forearm. You get that little bit of fresh spice, peppery kick in the top. The lavender here provides the soapy shower gel feel. It's a very soapy, aromatic smell. And like I said, that sour bergamot citrus does fade after a little while, but you get it for a good 30 minutes before it starts to really kill off and subside and fade into the background. The tonka bean here provides a light sweetness. It's not a powdery fragrance on my skin. Sometimes tonka bean can be very powdery. This is one of those instances where it's not really all that powdery. There's a light woody tone, but not much. I mean, there's no real woody notes in the fragrance. It does have a musky appeal to it. I don't get a lot of the amber that's in the base. It doesn't come across as a warm ambery feel. And there's no ambroxan listed in here, but it distinctively has a mimicked smell to Dior Sauvage EDT, which is an ambroxan bomb. That is the star of the show in that blend. It's not listed in here, but however they blended these notes together, the way they balanced everything with the percentages, with the top, mid, and base, it smells like ambroxan. Like I said, this is almost a dead ringer for Dior Sauvage EDT, and it's much more affordable from discounters online when you can find it. It's not always in stock. Usually you can find 100 mLs in the $50 to $60 range. If you compare that to a 100 ml of Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette from discounters, you're going to save around $30 to $40. So it is more affordable, and the performance, which we'll discuss in a moment, is in the realm of on par. Not quite as strong as Dior Sauvage EDT, but definitely not a weak fragrance. This one will pull similar attention. It's pretty much the same smell. If you have Dior Sauvage EDT, this will be a completely redundant fragrance for you. But if you don't, and you like it, and you'd like to find the right affordable option that doesn't smell cheap, because there's a lot of options out there that smell like it that just smell so cheap. Just like a cheap-ass $10 fragrance, even though you might have paid $40, $50 for it. In this case, I feel like you're doing a little bit better. You're going to spend a little bit more. Like I said, it depends on where you find it. Bottle size, 50 ml like this, you can probably find in the $40-some-odd range. On up to $60 from discounters. And based on all the ones I've tried, this might be the one I would recommend if you're looking for a fantastic alternative that almost mimics damn near one-to-one across the board with scent and performance to Dior Sauvage EDT. Now, as far as performance, longevity in this one, not quite the beast of my bottle of Sauvage EDT, but at the same time, I know people like to talk about batch codes and everything because this gets reformulated, that gets so on, blah, blah, blah. So my bottle of Dior Sauvage EDT is from February 2015. It's back when it was a brand new fragrance, and it was at its absolute peak. So it's hard to really compare it to that batch because that's a monster. That's a 2 to 3 sprayer almost filling a room type of fragrance. This, I do 5 sprays, and I get not quite the same type of power. I get 6 to 8 hours, more towards the 8-hour mark, really in the 7 to 8 hour range of life on my skin with this one. No slouch, right in my wheelhouse, the sweet spot of what I like from my fragrances, regardless of scent profile, whether really fresh or really dark and heavy. 6 to 8 hours, that's ideal for me. That's all I need throughout my day before I'm going to transition into something else, whether it be a gym fragrance in the morning or an evening fragrance later in the evening. 6 to 8 hours is all I need. This falls perfectly into that. Projection, not super heavy. I wouldn't call this a room filler. Now, if you were to spray this fragrance really heavy, it'll make quite the long and strong scent bubble and trail, I'm sure. But in the moderate spray range, 5 to 7, like I typically do, fragrances like this in particular, arm's reach, a little bit better for sure in the first hour, but kind of arm's reach type of stuff within range. Nothing crazy strong to reach across the room in the first 2 hours, but slightly above average in projection in the first 2 hours, especially the first hour. Most fragrances are really strong in the first hour. That's the way it works. This one is no slouch either. Now, as far as the sillage, moderate to mild. Nothing that's really weak and too close to the skin to where it's too mild, and you'd have to reapply sooner than you would like to. It's in that moderate to mild range to where it will lightly remind you from time to time, at least in my experience, that it's still there hours into the life of the fragrance. So the sillage, that if it can randomly remind me 5, 6, 7 hours in, I get nice little hits of the aroma randomly when I turn a certain way or make a certain movement, I consider that in the mild to moderate range, to where it's not necessarily strong enough to where everybody within a few feet of me when I walk by smells me. They might get a light hit of the aroma, but if I can smell me at that point, it's still coming off the skin decently, and that's definitely the case with Mercedes-Benz Man Blue. Final thoughts on Mercedes-Benz Man Blue. I'm impressed. It's about what I expected. I heard it was very similar to Dior Sauvage. It is. It absolutely is, but I'm glad I got it, and the main reason I'm glad that I got it is because I got to see how close it actually is. Some may disagree with my assessment. That's totally fine. This is my opinion and my experiences that I'm just sharing with you guys. But I feel like for the money, this might be the best affordable route to go if you're looking for as close to a clone of Sauvage EDT without sacrificing too much quality or performance to get the Sauvage EDT experience. I think you get that here. I think this is a very good fragrance at 7 out of 10. I think that's a great rating for it. It's not phenomenal. It doesn't blow me away. It's not a crazy beast. It's not top tier quality, but it's a decent quality. You know, I would call this every bit of a mid-level designer type of fragrance. And it definitely has that mass appeal, crowd-pleasing profile that some are tired of and some can't get enough of. And I'm the type that kind of can't get enough of it, to be honest with you. So I think it's very good. It's 7 out of 10. Well, that's my thoughts and feelings on Mercedes-Benz Man Blue. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback. And I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have tried this? Do you love it? Do you loathe it? Very curious on what you guys think down below. Was this video helpful for any of you? I'd also like to know if it was beneficial for your day, or if it's helping with some research that you're maybe doing on the fragrance or whatever. Let me know down below. I'd love to read it. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on Mercedes-Benz Man Blue and you give it a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.